Greetings. Welcome in. Thank you, everyone. Today is January 8th, 2024, and this is another successful manifestation of us staying consistent with you all as the Master Mom Collective. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I will be your host. My name is Sister Bria, okay? And a lot of my close friends, they call me Peace, but see, y'all still getting to know me. So for now, y'all can call me Sister Bria. So tonight I will be your hostess, and I will also be introducing our other moms from the Master Mom Collective. But just to introduce myself a bit, I am a quantum business engineer. So I like to call it for short business consultant. However, I do pride myself on being able to really grasp onto a vision and bring it into reality. And sometimes I underestimate how valuable that gift is. But tonight is all about vision. Tonight is all about shining and being in your purpose and being the person who God created you to be, however unique. Whatever your unique gift is, it is time for it to manifest for your highest good. And so, in order for us to do that, we have to not only stay consistent, but we have to latch on not only to people who are in alignment, but also into a vision that is in alignment. And so, tonight, I introduce my favorite place on the internet, which is the Master Moms Collective. And the Master Moms Collective is a collective of like minds who want to bring their unique gifts to the table, bring their unique gifts together collectively, and actually support one another and be able to utilize and leverage each other's gifts in order for us to work in harmony towards an outcome of peace. Okay. And peace comes with prosperity. Peace comes with productivity, and peace comes with purpose. Okay. And so we have created a program that where every Monday, inshallah means God willing, that we will come to you all with a divine message, to be able to inspire you at the top of every week to continue to hold the vision once you have it. And so we also saw that a lot of things were going on for the new year as far as vision board parties, and they were very all over the place. But nobody had a vision. Nobody had a vision for that vision board. You are not cutting and pasting and manifesting. You are not pulling out of other people's ideas and manifesting. No, there is a higher level of understanding, and there's a higher level of collaboration that is necessary to bring an idea into reality. And so we are showing you by collectively coming together as individuals what it's going to take to actually help you to get there. And it is a process by which it takes time, effort, energy, and it also takes a willingness to fail forward in order to manifest what is inside of you. And so today, we are going to be talking about today's topic. And today's topic is Proverbs 29. And so I know that a lot of people have heard the verse, where there is no vision, the people perish. And people leave it at that. And so tonight we're going to go fully into chapter 29 of Proverbs, and we're going to fully grasp the vision that is necessary to be able to make the choices that it's going to that it's going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. It's going to give you the vision of the discipline that's necessary to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And it's also going to give you the vision of how to see your reality for what it is, so that you can begin to make the changes necessary, make the choices necessary to be able to get from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. And so a little disclaimer before we get started, we do pray here. So if you're not comfortable with acknowledging a higher power, if you are not comfortable with us praying for you and over you, then this is not necessarily the place that you want to be. So if you are comfortable with that, we do ask your permission to pray for and over you so that we can be in alignment and that we can have your permission and grace to be able to help open up the space in the right spirit and in the divine alignment that is necessary in order for us to reach that full potential in this conversation. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and read our agenda, and then we're going to open up in prayer. All right. So today's agenda is met with a supply list. So let me go ahead and pull up our supply list. We are going to need our supply list. Okay. And so when it comes down to today, you're going to need a notebook. You're going to need a pen. You're going to need your Bible. You're going to probably need some water. I've got my water here, and it's important that we have enough water while we are talking about this so that we can move the energy out that doesn't really need to stay there. And then we can also hydrate as we begin to use certain levels of energy. You can get very tired, you can get dehydrated, you can find yourself sweating, you can have anxiety, and water really helps to remove and detox the stress that comes with these types of conversations. So we're just going to acknowledge that your body also needs support in this time. If you need to get a snack, grab one. If you need water, grab that. But if you don't have a Bible, you can look for an app on your phone or your computer, and you're going to want to take some notes. Okay. So our agenda today, we're going to open up in prayer and set the expectations. And our expectations for today is that you just be open. That's our only expectation. We expect you to be open. If you stay around for our stream and for our live, we expect for you to be open, and we expect for you to have fun and engage and also be comfortable to ask questions. Questions are essential, okay? That's the only way that we can learn is when we engage with a topic and we experiment with that topic, okay? And so the next thing on our agenda is I'm going to introduce the Masterminds Collective. I'm going to give you a brief background of everyone, and then we're going to go into a guided visualization by Mindful Organic Mama. Mindful Organic Mama was created by our sister Damari, and she is going to introduce us and engage us in a guided visualization exercise, followed by Pump Up Your Mind Muscles by It's Everything Gabrielle. And she's a wonderful sister who is also another part of the collective and tonight's sponsor. And then we're going to go into God's vision, which is found in Proverbs 29. We're going to go through the whole chapter 1 through 27. Okay, I love that number. And I have the honor of going through that portion of the program. And then we're going to close with prayer and pretty much like any thank yous that need to be had. All right. So if that sounds good, without further ado, let's move further into our program tonight. All right. So we're going to open up in prayer. All right. So let's do this. Now, I have a special prayer that I wanted to use tonight. And let me find it. Yes, honey.
Can Maddie use a phone for a little? Not
Which
the other
phone?
for the
Which phone y'all want?
your other phone.
My other phone?
Yeah, for the Just Dance.
I think that phone is in that bag. No.
I'm just hugging.
Is it that bag?
I'm just hugging Maddie.
Check that bag right there.
I'm just hugging Maddie. This one?
Yeah, check that bag. Is that the bag I had today? Because I think I had both phones stacked today. Is it a phone in there?
Yeah, just junk. No.
It's not a phone there?
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, look in that bag.
Angel. Yes, I'm here.
What?
Yeah. What did I know about Feliz Navidad?
What do you know about Feliz Navidad, baby?
It's like a Christmas song.
All right. Well, we're about to open up in prayer. Y'all got what y'all needed? Y'all got what y'all needed?
It's here. Yeah.
All right. Let me unlock it. I'm literally live right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You're literally live?
Yes.
You're literally live.
Yes, I'm literally live.
You're literally live, Mommy.
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Yes. So
I'm Mason.
we're momming through it all. Yes.
Yeah.
They're the M&Ms. All right, y'all. And put that phone on the charger, too. It look like it's about to die. Okay. And please close the door. Okay, come on, Mason. Thank you. Love y'all. Peace. All right, y'all. It's time for prayer. Let's do this thing. All right. So take whatever position is comfortable for you. I like to pray with my hands open as if I'm receiving a gift, because it is a gift to be able to pray and to ask with full faith and expecting that my prayers be heard and that they are answered. Because in Islam, we are taught that if Allah was not going to answer the prayer, he wouldn't have guided you to pray. So I think that is just the best feeling ever. So let's do this together, okay? In the name of Allah, surely I have turned myself to thee, O Allah, being upright to him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Surely my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has he, and this I am commanded. I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. And I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults, for none grants protection against faults but thee. And guide me to the best of morals, for none guides to the best of morals but thee. And turn away from me the evil and indecent morals, for none can turn away from me the evil and indecent morals but thee. O Allah, make Muhammad successful and all the followers of Muhammad successful, as thou didst make Abraham and the followers of Abraham successful, for surely thou art praised and magnified in our midst. And O Allah, bless Muhammad, and bless the true followers of Muhammad, for surely thou art praised and magnified in our midst. And bless the true followers of Muhammad, and surely bless the followers of Abraham, for surely thou art praised and magnified. Ameen. Praise be to Allah. All right. So now that we've opened up in the best manner, and now that we have brought that along, so now let's move into the next point at our agenda, and that is to actually introducing the Master Mom Collective. I am so excited about this portion of the program because the first mommy that I am going to bring onto the stage is It's Everything Gabrielle. She is a wonderful, wonderful sister to have. And she is very, very passionate about mental health, especially when it comes down to our mothers as they're dealing with postpartum depression. They're dealing with new motherhood. They're dealing with running the household. They're dealing with being a new wife. They're dealing with so many things that are unseen to the naked eye that you don't even know that you need help with until you're faced with an experience that you have no tools for. And so she is here to share her knowledge and expertise, and she will actually be available in the Master Moms Collective group on Facebook for any of your mental health related questions. So without further ado, let's add It's Everything Gabrielle Modesti to the stage. Welcome, my sister.
Hello, how are you?
Shalom, shalom. I'm blessed, sis. How you doing?
I'm good.
So we're so glad to have you tonight into the live stream. We're staying consistent. So is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers before we get started into our program tonight?
I feel like the last time we had our meeting, I didn't properly introduce myself and give people my background. So I'm just gonna tell everybody like where I'm from and what my education is in, my aspiring certifications, my research interests, and my overall goal. So she said my name already, which is Gabrielle Modesti. I'm from Pasadena, California. I attended Tuskegee University from 2010 to 2014, and I achieved my psychology degree. And then maybe 4 or 5 years later, I attended Auburn University and I achieved my master's in community planning. And it can it can move from urban planning and regional planning. So everything's kind of in the same realm. My aspiring certifications, because I am very interested in toxic stress. It's more so of marriage and family counseling. Um, and I really want to get into organizational type as well, working with companies, helping people out with their mental health. A lot of people in the workforce are having a lot of exhaustion issues, very, very tiring. Everybody's burning out. And because everybody's burning out, they don't have an outlet to pretty much vent to and talk to anybody about anything. So I want to get into that field to just kind of be that lending ear. Um, Also, get into some type of school counseling because I am an advocate of education and literacy. I homeschool my children. I have 3 kids. I have an 8-year old, a 6-year old, and a 3-year old, and I teach all of them. And it's pretty fun, but it's a stress at times. Um, and the last thing I really want to focus on is prenatal and postnatal coaching because I suffered from postpartum depression and it was a struggle, especially not having a lot of people to talk to. I really just talked to a couple of people at a time, and it was still hard because at the end of the day, you really don't have that support system that truly understands what you're going through. And I want to be that person that knows what you're going through every step of the way because we all tend to go through the same problem during postpartum, but at different steps. And to be able to relate to those steps at any time is a blessing. So I really just want to get into that. And my research interests are more so of the mind gut axis connections with the health of your stomach and your brain. We already know that our stomach is our second mind. And if your stomach isn't right, your brain isn't together. So I just really kind of want to get into that and focus on everything as a whole to kind of just give people a better understanding on how to take care of themselves and to be able to let people know that we can lean on each other and talk to each other about stuff, whether it's from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. So yeah, and my overall goal is to be an independent contractor with mental health and women's clinics to be that counselor. So at the end of the day, I want to be the one that's like, hey, can you come and talk to this person? Are you going to be here at this time? So just kind of get into that so I can be that support system.
I absolutely love that. I'm over here smiling so hard.
Let's see.
Because we need
like just to be able to fulfill that type of purpose, and because I have about 5.5 years. I have about 5.5 years of experience in the mental health field. When I was in Alabama, I worked with the Learning Tree, which focuses on I wouldn't say little kids, smaller kids, but they were ranged from about 8 to 17, 18 years old. And they had a lot of intellectual disabilities. They had a lot of disassociations. They had a lot of multiple personality issues. So it was a lot of stuff that I dealt with, that I saw. And then I started working with the adults. So to be able to move from the children to work with the adults, it was a big difference. But I learned over the course of years that we all suffer at any stage from the same thing. So to be able to know that you can target one thing in a child and it could still help an adult, was really like mind blowing, because I was like, wow, I did the same thing for these kids at the hospital or at the learning tree, but then when I get here to work at the clinic, it was like, wow, I could do the same thing. And doing that same thing, it still made a difference. So I'm really just blessed to know all of this information. It's a lot of information, but it was definitely a good experience. So I love it. Absolutely.
Okay, so let everyone know how they can get in contact with you.
Um, Many ways you can pull up my Instagram. I have two Instagrams. I have It's Everything Gabrielle CEO, and then I also have It's Everything Gabrielle. That's the more so the business, but either way, I still control both of them. So if you send one message to one, I can answer to the other. I can answer. On Facebook, you can send a message through the Master Moms Collective group, and I can definitely get back to you. And I have my email. You can send me an email at it's thepartumpost7@gmail.com. So ThePartumpost7@gmail.com.
Drop it in the chat for me and I'll put it as a banner so everyone can see it throughout our conversation tonight.
Okay.
And so after you do that, Gabrielle, I'd like for you to kind of give your reason as to why they should join the Master Mom Collective on Facebook.
Say that one more time. Give me a what?
Just let everyone know why they should join our group on Facebook, the Master Mom Collective.
Oh, because it's a whole vibe. Obviously. No, I'm just playing. No, for real. Like the goal that we have with the group is to be, of course it's a collective, but the whole point of the group is to be able to relate to one another. The relatability that we seek from being in this group is important. We've got mothers, we've got just women without kids. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you're going through a woman issue, we all know what you're going through. It's more of a support system, and that's the number one thing that we focus on, is supporting each other no matter what you've got going on. And because we're all entrepreneurs and we're all mothers, we really have that maternal effect to help one another. We all want to help. But what we're doing, instead of putting all of our help into over helping, we're helping the people that want to be helped. So if you want to be helped, we have this group for you to reach out to us, talk to us, start conversations, give us a topic that you want us to talk about. I mean, even if you don't interact on the page, you can send us a question, post it on the page and say, hey, can you talk about this during your meeting? That's fine. It's all about awareness. It's all about knowing. It's all about us understanding one another together and creating that bond that is missing, because there's a lot of cohesion in what's going on now that's missing, and we're trying to fill that void by allowing everybody to just be who they are. Be yourself, be who you want to be, and let us know, like, hey, I'm going through this, I need you to talk to you, you know, I need this, I need a tax service, I need life insurance, I need anything that we're getting into, because we're multifaceted. We're getting into a whole lot of stuff. We're going to be certified in more than what we're certified in now. And just to be able to create that, the word that popped in my head was lineage of motherhood, is the point. Like, that's the whole sole purpose of Master Moms Collective. And I'm just so excited for the group, because we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot of things to do. We've got a lot of people to touch and a lot of points to make. And being a part of this group is just going to give you the opportunity to be a part of that.
Yes. Thank you so much for being a part of the Master Mom Collective. Again, tap in with It's Everything Gabrielle CEO on Instagram. Be sure to search Master Moms Collective on Facebook and send us a request to join the group so that you can be a part of tonight's conversation. Oh, it's going to be good. And so without further ado, we're going to introduce our next Master Mom and sponsor of tonight's event. She is the Mindful Organic Mama, also known as Mystic Ori. She is a talented sacred sister who is also my Asneba het, and she is a wonderful spirit. She can literally make medicine from a conversation. She is who is a wonderful mother, and she has given birth to many business babies as well as helped a lot of people along their healing journeys. And she is the only woman that I know who has done some of the things that she has done in life. So I won't spoil it. I'll let her tell you. Please welcome Sister Damari. Greetings, sis.
Greetings.
We're so grateful to have you. Please tell the people who you are. Introduce yourself. Give them everything, sis.
All right. Well, my name is Damari. I'm also known as Mystic Ori. I am originally from a place called Savannah, Georgia, born and raised. I currently reside in the DMV, Virginia. I am a plant-based and whole foods mama. I'm an artist. I am a friend. I'm a sister. Okay, and I started my journey through plant-based and whole foods wellness probably around maybe 2014. I kicked it off with a 8-day water fast, and I went straight into being an alkaline vegan. A lot of my influence comes from, legendary people within the holistic community, people who made a difference and a change within the lives of, Black people, African Americans of the diaspora, and people of all over. It was Dr. Sebi, Dr. Laila Africa, Queen Afua. I found Queen Afua, I want to say maybe like 2015, 2016, after hearing about Dr. Sebi. And I've just never been able to go backwards after that. I went through a period where I lost my mother in 2012 to, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, so many things that plague our community. And I vowed to myself, she was really young. She was in her 40s. I'm 34, give thanks. And so I vowed to myself that I was going to, do everything in my power and everything that I could to not only help myself, but help everyone else that, I crossed paths with, and if it had to be anything as far as educating them about the foods that we consume, the energy and the company that we keep. Just like, Gabby was saying, the mental health and the connection between the gut is important, but you also want to throw in the spiritual health as well, because I learned that, from Queen Afua, that if you're eating sugar, or if you're eating starches, or if you're eating, meats and, different things like that, then it's a spiritual attack. It's definitely connected to whatever you may be going through mentally, your mood. It can affect your mood. The flesh can affect your mood. The salts, the sugars, if you're eating a certain way, it could be you're either dealing with anxiety, you're either dealing with depression, you're, dealing with what she likes to call an angry womb space, And yeah, so the journey, it hasn't been a perfect one. It's definitely been one, of learning. It's definitely been an experience. And my focus as far as, the collective, the Master Moms Collective, is to, create a space and be a part of a space, for women who are going through it, going through it, the ups and downs, the yo-yoing, the wanting to be healthy but struggling to be healthy, wanting to be healthy but not really knowing necessarily where it's coming from, you know, to touching on the significance of relationships with yourself, relationships to, people around you, your partner, your family, your upbringing, the people closest to you, and how those things can influence you too as well. Um, yeah, so I'm a mom of 6 little ones. um, my last child, he's 19 months old. I was led on, to experience and have a natural birth. So I gave birth naturally to my last child, my 6th child. He was born at home in my tub. I maintained a plant-based diet throughout my pregnancy, you know, um, really, pushing through fears, pushing through um, the anxieties and things, because it was something scary. I've never done that before. All my other children were born in hospitals. So I just kind of was like, hey, if I'm going to be about this journey really and truly, if I'm going to be a natural woman, then, I need to go ahead and do what my body has been designed to do, and that's give birth naturally. I breastfeed. My last 2 children I've breastfed for 2 years straight. So without a lactation coach. So if ever there's a woman in the group who is a new mom or a mom who's struggling with breastfeeding, I have some experience there that I can help with lactation. I can help with those things. I do love studying herbs. I do love studying herbalists. Um, I am currently a student at the American College of Healthcare Sciences. I'm studying integrative health. Um, with hopes to specialize in herbalism. So if there is anything, that anybody in this group would need, we are we're here for you. So if it has anything to do from just medicinals, I like to call it spiritual medicines. That's your baths, your spiritual washes to, help ground yourself, tap into the energy of the new moon, the full moon, waxing, the waning, and definitely use that energy along with the herbs to cleanse ourselves, shield ourselves, protect ourselves, strengthen ourselves, be empowered, you know and that's the spiritual aspect. And then it's just so much. I don't want to like take up all the time and everything, but this is something that I'm extremely, passionate about. And yeah, join the Masterminds Collective.
Well, sis, I am over here aglow. Like, oh, girl. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And I'm so grateful that I have connected with you, that our paths crossed. And I just want you to know that you are such a special individual, that I am so grateful to have the opportunity to introduce you to such an amazing audience who is desperately in need of someone just like you, who actually can listen and tune in to where you know the foods that they should be eating, but you also know how to prepare those foods. You also have a service of prepping those foods. And not only that, you'll actually go and shop the foods for them. You bring so much value, and I'm just grateful that I get to introduce you to the world as the Mindful Organic Mama. And I'm excited as far as what is going to actually come from you and your brand. And you have such amazing children that they also have wonderful businesses as well, and they're supporting you and they're learning entrepreneurship through you. And so I am really happy that we get to cultivate this consistency together, because this is week 2, and that you also get to take us through your guided visualization exercise. And so that's going to be a really big treat for everybody who may not have been, exposed to guided visualization, where they might not even know they need a visualization coach to be able to take them to where they can be in their mind to actually see, feel, hear, taste, and touch a vision that might not be, in reality just yet. But yet that is a space that you can take them to, not only through food, but also through your voice. So it's your turn now. So next up, everyone who is tuned in, get ready, get in a comfortable seated position. If you can find a quiet space in your home, that would be ideal. But we know we all have kids, we all have families, and if you are in a shared space, if you could put some headphones in, or even just ask the people around you to join into the guided visualization so that you could have more focus, that's also an option. And so we always want to bring the kids into what we're doing. We want to bring the family into what we're doing so that it can be a collective exercise, so that everybody is getting the benefits of this collective, that everybody feels included, that everybody can learn techniques to be able to collect, connect, and hold a vision. So without further ado, we're ready when you are, sis.
Okay. Alrighty. So, like my sister said, let's get started by getting into a comfortable position. You can either be seated in a chair, either be seated on the floor, whichever one you're most comfortable with. So, we're going to go in and close our eyes and relax. We're going to have our palms facing upwards. You have your palms facing upwards to be open-minded, to be in a state of receiving. Or you can have your palms face down to be in a space of grounding. If you feel like you have, had a stressful week, you feel like, you're overstimulated, that's when every single sense is, just overly active. You want to ground yourself. You want to place your palms in a downward position. And as we begin, I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose. Your nose, intentionally breathing, tapping into your breath. Every breath is intentional. You want to exhale. With this next inhalation, you want to drop your shoulders down, relax your shoulders. Sit up, straighten up. If you find yourself hunching, you want to elongate your neck. Open up your chest. Inhale. You want to picture your feet planted. There are roots. You are grounding yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Pouring over your body. This is your shield. From the top of your head until it encapsulates you and covers your entire being, your entire body. This is your place where you can find your peace. This is your place where you can find your stability. This is your place where you can find your calm. I invite you to continue this cadence of breath. Each inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth with intention, feeling the force and the power of God and the Most High within you. Giving thanks as the air fills your lungs, feeling gratitude. Picture yourself receiving your blessings, everything that you have prayed for, everything that you have written, everything that God has promised you. Inhale. So prepare yourself for what's ahead of you. Prepare yourself to receive your blessings, to receive openly what God has for you. Breathe in. Let go of everything that is external. Let go of your fears. Breathe in your peace. Breathe in prosperity. Feel it, all the stress as it leaves your body. Loosen your shoulders. We exhale. Feel the temperature changing. Bring your awareness inward. See yourself being successful. See yourself being healed. See your situation and your circumstances, whatever it may be, being a door opening for you, a window opening for you, and all of your gifts, all of your blessings, there to pour in. Everything that you have ever needed has always been provided. No matter what it's been, no matter the time, no matter the place, you are loved. Feel the power of the Most High, the power of God within your breath. Give thanks. To bring your awareness back up through your feet first, keeping the cadence of your breath. Go ahead and wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet. Upwards, traveling throughout your chakras, traveling up through your feet, all the way up to the top of your head. Feel your environment, feel your surroundings. You can wiggle your fingers, bring it back up towards your head. Breathe in. And slowly open your eyes. See it, you can achieve it. Any vision, it is there for a reason. It's because you can truly manifest whatever it is that you are visualizing, whatever it is that you're seeing. God has given this vision to you, and only you can make it happen. Give thanks. Peace.
Give thanks, sis. Give thanks, sis.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Take a sip of water.
Yeah. I got tea tonight.
Woo.
What kind of tea you got?
Butterfly pea, lemongrass, and I don't want to chop it up, but I want to say it's like makala.
Is that Ayurvedic?
Yes.
I need to get my sister instrument.
Are we gonna be able to hear that thing? Because the last time you played it, I can hear it.
It's a sacral. And so after we do things that are divine, we need to make a divine sound with a divine instrument, a bell, a crystal glass, ding, just make a sound. So sing the praise. Okay. So these are decoration back here. These are, what you see behind me are sacred tools to help us reinforce what we are experiencing in these moments with these live streams. Because y'all, I went through some changes over the last 7 days. So before we get into that, we are going to continue with our agenda, and we are going to move into pump up your mind muscles. And that is going to be guided by our sacred sister, Gabrielle. She is going to give us just a taste of what she can provide with us as far as like helping and supporting our mental muscles. But before then, we just want to give thanks to Sacred Woman Damari and that wonderful guided visualization.
Absolutely.
If you would like more from Sister Damari, please tap in with her on her social media, Tarot by Mystic Ori on Instagram. And you can always just join the Masterminds Collective on Facebook now. We're doing this, inshallah, God willing, every Monday. So please tap in with us. So without further ado, Gabrielle, let's go ahead and pump up our mind muscles tonight, okay?
Okay, so how I'm going to approach this is pretty much just prepping you guys for the end of the meeting and give you some questions to think about, to also give you some information on what will be coming soon, a part of the collective. I figured that, well, with my sisters and their wonderful insight, that having a series connected to our meetings is a lovely and wonderful idea. And I know that 2 hours is good to give out some type of information as far as us collectively having our insight and having our meetings. But as far as expounding on certain information, I think that that could be something that we could focus on as well. And on Thursdays, I was thinking that was a good day. So hopefully that's a good day for a lot of you all as well, to have just some information that can be given as far as like behavior and some mental health affirmations and some type of motivation to help you continue your improvement with your visions, not just your regular vision boards, but just your life of vision, and being able to give you insight on what you could focus on without having to stress so much about certain things. And the series that I want to focus on, it's 3 parts to the series. It's habit formation, which will pretty much give us more of like affirmations and continuously telling yourself what you're capable of doing so you can move along and make things happen. Keeping up small habits, whether it's drinking water at a certain time of the day, small things like that can add up. Behavior and behavior change, which I will definitely get into soon, and continuous improvement, like I said. A couple of questions that I have for you all is, number one, what is your external stimuli? The reason why I ask this is because we're living in a world now that encourages us to do things that we're not so sure of why we do it, but we do it because it seems right. And I know that, like I said, reading later on in the read, Sister Bria will be reading Proverbs 29. And reading that earlier was inspiration on me trying to figure out what external stimuli is. And external stimuli is, how do your thoughts, how are they affected? What are your feelings? How do you believe, and what impacts your behavior? And things like this will allow you to envision your vision. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about visualizing something that is so important for you. And if it's important for you, it's important for your lineage. It's important for your children. It's important for your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your aunts, uncles, everybody in your family. And knowing right from wrong is important. And I feel as though focusing on what you know is right and what you know is wrong, that'll help you figure out how you need to envision your life with purpose, to be righteous. That's the vision. Are you a righteous person? Are you not righteous? Are you leading in evil? Are you leading in righteousness? And Sister Bria said that earlier, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Because we do so much during the day to where we're just trying to get by. We're trying to live, and we don't even realize the decisions that we're making. So what is your lifestyle? What attitude do you have? Are you embodying that lifestyle that you want to have? And if not, what can you do to change that? How can you step back and say, man, I need to change some things that I'm doing because what I'm doing is not leading me down the right path? That's external stimuli. What's your environment? Are you living in the type of environment that is helping you flourish? Or are you in an environment that's bringing you down? And then we have to move into our internal stimuli, which is how do they affect our mood? How are you being, how are you, how are you dealing with your emotions? Are you angry all the time? Are you sad? Are you happy? How do you feel? These are the things that we have to think about in order for us to move to the next level. Because if we're stuck on feeling negatively, we won't go anywhere. So our internal states matter. If you have a problem, you have to look at the solution that you have for that problem and cast your vision from that solution. Because Sister Bria said something to me earlier that hit. She said, your solution is in your problem. What problem do you have? How can you find the answer to that problem? How can you solve that issue? That's it. That is what you need to base your mindset on. A lot of our mindsets are, they're right here. They're right here. We have to bring it up a little bit. We have to make changes that are going to help impact us in a positive way, not keep us mundane. We're not going to, we just can't, we can't stay there. We can't. That's the purpose of the Master Moms Collective. We cannot keep you where you're comfortable. In order for you to grow, you have to expand your mind. You have to read, you have to learn, you have to take things to the next level in order for you to get to where you need to go. So there are a lot of different problems that we run into in our lives, like different personality issues. And the number one problem we see are people pleasing. Are you a people pleaser? Are you a people pleaser? I'm asking you, are you a people pleaser? If you are a people pleaser, change it. You can help people. You can go out of your way to say, hey, I'm going to help you. But don't go out of your way to help somebody to the point where you're hurting yourself. That's the problem with people pleasing. That's where we go wrong with being happy with ourselves. I know I had a bad habit of doing that. I'm not going to lie. It's me. I was the people pleaser. I was like, oh, I'm going to help you out. You need help? I got you. To the point where that person I said I got you to didn't have my back. That's the problem. Find people that are in your circle or get you a circle of people that are reciprocating your love language of people pleasing. That's my new love language. Reciprocation. If I give you help, you help me back. We help each other. And we're not knocking each other down to where we can't go anywhere else. We're not keeping each other here. We're taking it up a level. What else? Cognitive behavior. So the definition of cognitive is, and I'm going to read from my notes. It's relating to, being, or involving conscious intellectual activity. So relating to the mental process involved in knowing, learning, what I say, we got to learn, and understanding things. You have to understand where you're going, where your vision is. You have to understand. If you know that you have somewhere to go, understand why you're going. Because a lot of people just make plans for themselves and they don't know why they're going where they're going. They just want to go. That's why I say we're living in a society now to where we're trying to grab something just to have it. But there's no meaning behind why we're grabbing it. What's the point? When you get to your achievement, are you going to be happy or are you going to be sad about it? Where are you? Where are you going? Do you know who you are? It and behavior is just involving everything that I said. You have to involve that. You have to combine the two, cognitive behavior. It's literally you putting those two together to make a result, make a change, make something happen. And going back to um, the habits that we form, you have to be able to understand that when you're taking yourself to the next level, you have to unlearn a lot of things. I was talking to Sister Bria about that earlier today too. That's so hard to do. When you have a habit of doing something every day, but when you have that habit of doing something every day, you're not even realizing that that habit that you have is hurting who you are. Stop stop messing yourself up with these habits that you're not supposed to have. These learned helplessness habits. It's called learned helplessness. You're learning things when you grow up. Another word for it is modeling. Your parents act a certain way, you're going to act the same way. Why? Because that's all you've seen. If you from the streets, if you on the streets all day, every day, all you know is the streets. If you're from the good part of the neighborhood, that's all. There's certain things that you won't know because you weren't exposed to the bad. Sometimes being in the good part, you run into bad stuff too, but it's on a different level. You have to understand where you're going to unlearn that habit that's going to keep you from going where you need to go. And I know that's hard, but we have to work on that. And I think it's really important for us to have those exercises before we go to bed. Write our habits down that we know we should change and the habits that we want to learn and do positively. Because unlearning things that you don't need to know or don't need to have in your life anymore is going to open up so much for you. And it's going to help you become more of a clear minded person to where you'll be easily, what do you say? Everything that you need to have come towards you will come. And I really would like for you all to just ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? What habits do I have that I need to unlearn? Let's work on the unlearned first. Let's work on the negative. I'm all about cons. Let's work on cons first. Because if you work on the pros and you get too far ahead, the cons are going to still be there and then they'll get in the way. Let's work on the cons first. Let's work on the negative first. The negative is the truth. The negatives are the truth. The negatives are the truth. Work on the negatives and let's move to the pros, and then we'll be okay. Things will be much easier for us to maneuver around our lives and have better days. So that's it pretty much. That's all I really wanted to tell you guys, which is let's move from the negative to the positives, because things will be a lot easier for your vision. Because envisioning your vision with those positives that you've turned from the negatives, it's just going to be a breeze. It won't be that bad. Did I say a mouthful? I know I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, sis, I have how many pages of notes here? I have 2 pages of notes based on your talk on cognitive behavior. And I took away some really valid points, especially when you said learned helplessness. So we can learn how to be helpless in a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it's also called modeling. And so I like that I learned about cognitive behavior tonight, which is the intentional or awareness of relating to the mental processes and understanding why I do what I do, and also knowing and understanding why. That's a totally
Mm-hmm.
different awareness than to say, oh yeah, because I used to like to smoke weed. I used to like to do that every single day because I thought it was helping me until
Yeah.
I understood why I did it, and it was a coping mechanism that numbed me from the negative.
Mm-hmm.
It was helping me with the negative, when really what it was doing was it was removing the motivational force of
Yeah.
getting out of what I was experiencing. So I stayed in my negative state longer than I needed to be because I was using a coping mechanism that was actually detrimental to my progress, and
Absolutely.
I had to unlearn numbing myself. And so I would numb myself with weed. I would numb myself with food. I would numb myself with shopping. I would numb myself with talking about my situation, complaining about my situation,
Mm-hmm.
ignoring my situation, avoiding my situation, thinking that it would just work itself out, when really I was the person who needed to be in pain enough to say, you know what? I'm about to make a different choice. So thank
Yeah.
you so much, sis.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I
And
hope
every
y'all getting that. I hope y'all getting these okay, we got Instagram live comments coming and talking about facts. Dropping J Flow 301 Maryland
hey.
on Instagram. Y'all go follow him and support his page, support what he does in the community. He is such a bright light, and I appreciate him for tapping in with us tonight. Because this is such a powerful conversation as we have a guided meditation from Mindful Organic Mama, one of our sponsors for tonight. It's Everything Gabrielle with the mental health portion of tonight's live stream on where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And so we're going to actually be going into the fullness of chapter 29 of Proverbs. So get your Bibles out, y'all. This about to be a ghetto Bible study, y'all.
Okay.
Get your water, get your tea. All right, get it right now. Get your Gatorade, get your Happy Orange. Okay, I love that Happy Orange.
Oh my gosh.
Bring it to the circle. Let's really get down into this word, because in the beginning was the word, and the word
Mm-hmm.
with God, and the word became flesh among men. So if we do not know the word, then we have totally missed what becomes flesh. And when people talk about manifestation, why do you think that word starts with man? It has to become flesh. It has to become real and tangible. Because guess what, y'all? The minister has taught us that thoughts are things. So thoughts are things. Even if you cannot see them, they are things. Thoughts are reality. They are just
Mm-hmm.
unseen reality. And as the minister teaches, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if you do not know who I'm referencing, then he has told us it is the unseen reality that creates the seen reality. If you all look around right now, no matter where you are, just stop and look. Everything that you're looking at right now started as an idea. It started as a thought. Everything you're looking at right now in your reality started as what? It started as an idea. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when we are talking about manifestation, we are really getting down to the root of where that comes from. Where does the creativity to actually put a stick to a bowl and make a drum? Somebody thought like, oh, this what might be a cool thing to do, and boom, boom, boom. Oh, we got some type of vibration here. Let's put a calf skin on it. Let's tie it up. Let's make it tight. Let's really make that sound rich. And so
Mm-hmm.
things came out of someone's mind. So let's give thanks for the mind, and let's give our investment. Our biggest investment that we can make, y'all, is not with our money. Our biggest investment that we can ever make into anything is our focus, attention, and our time. Those are the most valuable things that we have, and those are the most powerful currencies that we have. When we talk about science and we talk about currency, we are talking about an energy that is flowing into a certain direction. And so when you talk investment, you are making an investment every day by what you decide to give your attention and what you decide to give your time to. And when people say I don't waste my words, I'm not dealing with that, I have no time for that today, that means that they're not going to invest another second into foolishness. So what we can do, instead of just leaving that there, we can decide to make a choice and invest that same time that we have into something that's actually worth a thought, actually worth words, and that's discussing vision. Whose vision? Not our vision, not what Bria thinks, not what Warner Brothers got going on, not what VH1 has going on, but actually discussing the vision that God has put before us. And so that's what we're going to be looking at in Proverbs 29. And so my biggest conundrum is that I hate when people take a snippet of a quote. I need full context, baby, because I need it for myself.
Yeah.
So we are going to step outside of the famous quote from the Bible where there is no vision, the people perish. They have cut a whole chapter into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. And chapter 29 of Proverbs, please get your Bibles out because I need you to read this for yourself. I need you to learn how to go into this book. The Bible stands for what? I was taught this in summer camp. I went to the Boys and Girls Club of Richmond, Virginia, out in Churchill, and they said, "What does the Bible stand for?" The basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what the Bible stands for, y'all. So you all can live life without reading the basic instructions and don't even know where the basic instructions for life are. And people say, "Oh, there's no manual to how to live. There's no manual to how to raise kids." You a damn lie.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay.
damn.
So we gonna make sure that we shame the devil right now because he is a liar. And at the end of the day, you're not gonna lie to me and tell me that humans have been on the face of the earth for 76 trillion years and they've made books on everything under the sun, yet living, yet raising a family, raising kids. You got to be out of your mind to think I will believe that. So we're gonna
Absolutely.
go right into the book, and we are going to start with vision. Vision is so important because vision is what creates everything that we see. If we can see it in our minds based upon the law of quantum physics, anything that can be observed can be and is a reality somewhere. We just have to align a frequency that pulls that material reality into the reality that we are experiencing right now. All realities exist at the same time, past, present, and future. Okay. So wherever your mindset is and whatever the vision that you have in your mind right now, if when you close your eyes, you do not like the vision that you see, that's okay. If you close your eyes and you love the vision that you see, that's okay. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to be open to the vision that God has bestowed in front of us so that we know how to make choices that will get us to where we actually ultimately want to be. And that is between two things and two things only. I don't care if you want to be a firefighter. I don't care if you want to be a CEO. Every day you're choosing to be one of two things. You are choosing to either be a righteous person or you're choosing to be an unrighteous person. Your gift is your gift. God has given us all unique gifts.
Mhm.
We all express those things in the way in which pleases Him and us the most. But what you do in the midst of that is you choose two things in every choice, either to be good or either to be not so good, or what the minister calls other than yourself. And so, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, Proverbs 29 says this. Your Bible may be different, okay? Whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. When the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. A man who loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but a companion of prostitutes squanders his wealth. By justice, a king gives a country stability, But those who are greedy for bribes tear it down. Those who flatter their neighbors are spreading nets for their feet. Evildoers are snared by their own sin, but the righteous shout for joy and are glad. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. If a wise person goes to court with a fool, the fool rages and scoffs, and there is no peace. The bloodthirsty hate a person of integrity and seek to kill the upright. Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials become wicked. The poor and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. If a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. A rod and a reprimand impart wisdom, but a child left undisciplined disgraces its mother. When the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. Discipline your children, they will give you peace, and they will bring you the delights you desire. Where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint. But blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. Servants cannot be corrected by mere words. Though they understand, they will not respond. Do you see someone who speaks in haste? There is more hope for a fool than for them. A servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent. Any angry person stirs up conflict, and a hot-tempered person commits many sins. Pride brings a person low, but the lowly in spirit gain honor. The accomplices of thieves are their own enemies. They are put under oath and dare not testify. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. Many seek an audience with a ruler, but it is from the Lord that one gets justice. Okay? The righteous detest the honest, the wicked detest the upright. All right? So I just want to let that marinate a little bit. Okay? I just want to let that marinate. Okay? And so with the Proverbs 29, the full chapter, not just verse 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. But with this type of comparison and analysis into the behavior of certain people, notice that it wasn't just the righteous that he mentioned. It wasn't just the fools he mentioned. It wasn't just man he mentioned. He mentioned kings. God mentioned rulers. God mentioned our children. God mentioned the poor and the oppressor. Because as human beings, we can all fall into these labels at some point in our lives. We can fall into the label of a wise person. We can fall into a label of a fool. We can fall into a label of a ruler. We can fall into a label of a king. We can fall into the label of a child and a parent. Okay? So now what we're reading is actually God's vision for that type of person. For instance, if a ruler listens to lies, as a ruler, as me right now, and you listening to this broadcast right now, you are a ruler of something. You may be a ruler of your department. You may be a ruler of your business. You may be a ruler of your home. But you are in authority over something. And it says, if a ruler listens to lies, all of his officials become wicked. That is a vision. Okay? So seek wise counsel as a ruler. Seek a collective of individuals who you can seek truth from, so that you can test and try information. Because one thing the minister teaches us, that truth can be verified. It can withstand examination. Okay? A lie is something that will continuously change. That's what I know about truth and falsehood. That lies can change, but the truth can withstand examination. So if you do not have a collective of people in your life that you can take something to and examine it before you act upon it, then that is something that you can work on in 2024 to get you closer to your vision. Okay? We can fall into the label of being a fool. Fools give full vent to their rage. How many times have we lost our temper with the people who are closest to us? How many times have we gotten so angry and disappointed at ourselves? How many times do we see people come to social media and air out all of their dirty laundry? How many times have we seen people come to social media to weep and to cry and to basically air their grievances to a screen? A fool gives full vent to their rage, make threats to people that they love and care about. Turn around, you bash your man, you bash your woman publicly, and then turn around and say, baby, I love you. You look like a fool, and they look like a fool too. So we have all fallen under these labels. It says the righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. I've been in rooms where people have the means to make a difference and they do not care to. So what does that mean? In that moment, I am among wickedness because of the thought, not the person, wickedness. And so as I'm making my decisions in my business, when individuals say that they have nonprofits, they have nonprofit organizations that they are looking to actually serve a disenfranchised population. So those types of opportunities and organizations actually care about justice for a particular disenfranchised or disadvantaged population, that we can see what the definition of a faith-based business is just by this one chapter in Proverbs 29. And we can ensure and actually find purpose in what we do. If somebody is telling you that you need to stop giving away your services for free, then maybe you should have them read Proverbs 29, verse 7. Because in this instance, the righteous care about justice for the poor. So if you're not thinking about the poor, how could you call yourself a nonprofit organization? You might not need an LLC. You might need a 501c3 tax classification for what you do. You might just be in the wrong industry. I tell people that all the time. You're a millionaire, baby. You're just in the wrong business. And a lot of the times we don't have the proper vision because we're not going to the man who created the vision. We're not going into the word to be able to get our marching orders. And so it says, if a wise person goes to court with a fool, the fool rages and scoffs. That means anybody who is talking bad about what God has put on your heart, he might be a fool in that moment. And that's okay. But that's not for us to say, you know what, they're right. No, if God put something on your heart to take care of people in a way that helps them, that gives back to your community, that helps the poor, that helps the downtrodden, that helps those who cannot help themselves, that means you are doing a righteous work. So let's continue to see ourselves the way God sees us, because now we have the proper vision of ourselves. So if you ever are looking for any type of encouragement and you do not have a circle of people around you, you can always go back to Proverbs 29 just to see where you are in a situation. Because Proverbs 29 covers a plethora of instances. It also says, if a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. And so do not be dismayed when the Bible says he. Do not be dismayed when the Bible says king. Because if we didn't skip science class, okay, if you went to science class, you would know that the male has X and Y chromosome. Man includes woman. It doesn't disclude woman. You can't even have a man without a woman. So when it says he, it's saving his word. God doesn't waste a word. So if you think that you're left out because the verbiage says he, then you have skipped science class. And I need for you to go in and look that actually the man is the weaker of the species because they have the X and Y. They have both male and female that has to be balanced. And so if a man judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. And guess what? If a king actually judges fair to the poor, that actually means that he had a mother who taught him how to be a good king, meaning she's an even better queen. So let's look into what this passage is telling us. And here it goes. This is people say that there's no book on how to raise children. Proverbs 29:17. Discipline your children and they will give you peace. They will bring you the delights you desire. Now, discipline does not mean punishment. Discipline means structure, reinforcement, encouragement, and consequences. Consequences can be good or bad, okay? Now, as Black people, we have learned that this word consequences has a negative connotation. But when you look at the science of physics, consequences are an if-then statement. If I choose this, this happens. And if I choose this, this will happen. That is the law of cause and effect. So if we practice the law of cause and effect, every choice has an equal or opposite reaction. Just like the law says, every action has an equal or opposite reaction. That is the law of cause and effect. So when we see the word discipline, think of the law of cause and effect. If you do not have a plan for that child, what will that child become if you have no plan as a parent? Okay. And so when it says discipline your child and they will give you peace, they will bring you the delights you desire. In order to discipline a child, you have to have discipline. So this is a guide for the person who's reading it to not only say this is what that person has to do. No, this is a mirror to say this is who I need to be. So when we take ourselves out of our focus, if we're not so self-centric, we can actually see that God is giving us the proper vision that we need to have when it comes to how to walk in life. It says that a servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent. I know someone is going to say, oh, I want to be pampered. No, that's not what it's saying. I will encourage you to see that a servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent, meaning if you want to serve your people, you got to go through some things. You can't have it easy from a kid. If I had it easy from being a kid, I would not be sitting in front of you helping you to get a vision. I wouldn't know how to get a vision. I wouldn't need to sit here and tell you how to get a vision. I would be so, privileged, for lack of better words. I would feel as if there was nothing for me to do if I was pampered from a youth. There would be nothing for me to change. My life was perfect. And so I'm going to tell y'all a story. I hurt someone who I really cared about. And I had been in pain for 10 years over the situation until before I realized that this person I cared about was hurting too. I was so consumed with my own pain that I didn't see that I hurt someone. And it took 10 years for them to have a conversation with me about the pain that they had, because I just wasn't ready to talk about the situation. I was so involved in my own hurt that I didn't see that other people were hurting until I started to heal. And so it affected me so much that I had hurt this person that I had to take a minute and just go to the beach. I had to separate myself and get some air, right? And so a hurricane had just come through, and so there were hundreds of seagulls on the sand. And I didn't want to disturb them, and they were like pooping, and it was just like a lot, and I didn't want to like put my toes in the sand where they were. So I sat on the benches and I just was listening to the waves, and this one bird flew over to where I was. And I looked at the bird and I couldn't understand why it flew over to me. And hundreds of other birds are over here. But I continued to look at this bird. And when I really paid attention to the bird, I realized the bird only had one leg. And so I'm looking at the bird and he's standing tall like all the other birds, but he only has one leg. And so this bird ends up taking flight. And I immediately started crying because that bird only had one leg, it showed me even though it was broken, it could still fly. And that was the only bird on the beach that could teach me something. The bird who was broken. And so it showed me the things that are broken about you, the things that have made you different, the things that have made you sad, the things that you have lost actually give you the authority to teach like nobody else. Because if you're perfect, who can you teach? If you haven't been through anything, who can you help? So yes, a servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent. He can't help nobody. You've been pampered. You've been given everything. You have not gone through a single experience that I can relate to. So who are you to tell me anything? I'm not listening to anybody who came from a pampered life. I can't take you seriously. You're not hurt from being in the trenches. You haven't had to climb your way out of circumstances. You haven't had to unlearn anything. You haven't had to go without anything. You haven't had to go through anything in life that is even worth mentioning in this moment. How can you talk to people who have been intentionally traumatized for over 4 centuries and you've been pampered since you was a baby? How, Sway? How? So Proverbs 29 is filled with opportunities for us to see ourselves and to see value in what we've gone through. If you can just take a quote from a chapter, then what about the entire piece that people are looking over and they're constantly trying to bring a vision out of their minds? They're constantly trying to spend money to go on retreats around the world when the vision is right here in the book. They say if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. Well, isn't it true? When are we going to actually listen to the crap that comes out of our mouth and pick up the damn book? You're so lazy that you want to use a common saying to evade the work that it takes to find what you're looking for. It's in the book. They're telling you where to go every single day. They told you where they hid it, and they're hiding it in plain sight. And that's why we need vision, because obviously the plain sight isn't plain enough if we still haven't seen exactly where the answers are. If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. What book? It's going to be the divine text. What did Jesus say? The truth will set you free. So where is the truth? You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. It must be in a book. What book has the truth in it? Tell me, what book has the truth in it? Of course. Who is the truth? What is the truth? God is the truth. So what book did God write? The Holy Quran, the Bible. And people miss the Torah, but the Torah is just the first 5 books of Moses, which is the Old Testament. See, we're looking at it and don't know what we're looking at, and you want to make a vision board by cutting shit out of a magazine. No, you still don't see. You still are missing the overall point of where to get your information. They want you to go to the television. They want you to go to social media because that's where they have the opportunity to continue to lie to you about who you are. Okay? And if you don't have a vision, you are perishing. You have no vision of who you are. You don't know that you are the God in person. I had someone tell me that the human being is matter and virtue. I said, excuse me, absolutely not. The fact that we're sitting here talking to each other and communicating back and forth means that there is an actual entity and intelligence in you that is divine. And I'm not sitting here looking at God. No comment. You have absolutely no vision of who you are, and that's why you're perishing. You have absolutely no understanding of who you are, and that's why you're perishing, because you cannot see yourself. You are the vision, beloved. Not a magazine. We're not cutting and copying and pasting off of nobody and nothing when we created everything. That's the vision. We need to get back to remembering. Remember, meaning I need a sister, I need a brother, I need a mama, I need a daddy, I need a kid, I need a husband, I need a wife, and we need to remember. That's why unity encompasses a human family. And so if you have a human family, then you have every piece of the puzzle that you need. There's no problem that we can't solve when we all remember. Why is it? Because I'm gifted in business. My sisters that I introduced you to tonight, one is gifted in mental health, the other is gifted in wellness. I have other sisters who are gifted in law. I have other brothers who are gifted in music. I have other family members who are gifted in technology. I have other family members who are also gifted in aerospace and aeronautical engineering. So when we remember, there is nothing that we cannot solve or do together. That's the vision that we need to have. That's the vision that we need to see. That's the vision that we can use to be able to thrive. So right now we have a problem in our community. We have a problem in our community, and it's called isolation. We have a problem in our community, and it's called depression. And those symptoms of depression, anxiety, people are asking, how do you heal anxiety? What are your tools to combat anxiety? Do you know what anxiety is telling us? Anxiety is telling us that something is missing, something is wrong. So don't fear your anxiety. Don't fear your pain. Walk into it because it's talking to you. Your anxiety is telling you what you need. Your heartbreak is telling you what you need. Your pain is telling you what you need. Your depression is talking to you. Have you listened to your body today? It says in Proverbs 29, right, that fools give full vent to their rage. What are you upset about? You're so busy talking about what you're upset about, but have you listened to what you're upset about? As Sister Gabrielle stated earlier, once we identify the problem, we have also identified its solution. How do we know? How can we prove this? We can prove this through the method of reverse engineering. Okay? For instance, if I got sick today by being around a bunch of people and there's a tingle in the back of my throat, what must I do? I must stop being around a bunch of people and I must boost my immune system. Okay? Simple. So if I have anxiety over a past trauma, what must I do? Let's reverse engineer it. I must go back to that past memory and I must heal it through what? What did I not receive in that moment that hurt me? I didn't receive, number one, compassion, and number two, an apology. Okay? Because shit happens. We are human. But how do we move through situations in real time? We acknowledge the hurt, we atone for the hurt, and then we don't do it again. Okay? So where it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. We are perishing because we have not practiced a proper vision of ourselves. So if I love myself, right? If I love myself and I miss an important appointment and I oversleep. It wasn't intentional. It was not intentional. What do? What's the first thing I do? I forgive myself. That's the first thing I do. Second thing I do is communicate to the party and I try to make it right. And I try to reset that appointment. I'm just giving you real, relatable circumstances so that you can see what it looks like. You have to have a vision. You have to see what things look like. And I will try to rebook the appointment that I missed. But the first thing I do is I apologize to me. I don't look myself in the mirror and say, oh, Bria, you're so stupid. I don't speak to myself that way. I don't say, oh, you know what? You're just lazy. Oh, you know what? You overslept on purpose. Oh, you know what? You dumb bitch. That has come out of y'all mouth to people. I have seen it on social media, and it's over less. So we're going to talk. Let's talk. Let's see. Let's really look at what we're looking at. We're looking at people who do not love themselves. And if I say I love me, I wouldn't talk to me that way. And if I say I love you, I wouldn't talk to you that way. So what can we do to move through the anxiety so that we can get where we need to be is that we need to forgive ourselves first. We need to say, you know what? I know you was tired. You had a long day. It was one of them days, huh? Yeah, put on some Monica. Put on some R&B. Soothe myself. I might need a little rest. How do I care for myself when I feel like I failed? My body is talking to me. Just like if my son didn't wake up for school that morning, he just could not get out of the bed. Will I call my son a dumb bitch? Let's think about somebody we really love and they overslept when we were supposed to go out. How would we interact with that person? Would we show them compassion and forgiveness and try again? Or will we cuss them out and totally just discard the relationship? Only a fool would discard a relationship over something so small. And we do it every time to ourselves. We discard ourselves. And that's what makes it so easy for us to discard one another because we don't respect self. We don't love self. We don't forgive self. We don't give grace to self. We don't care for self. And then wondering why brother don't hold the door for me. I don't even get mad when brothers don't hold the door for me no more. I just know you better not talk to me. You better not try to holler at me because you don't have no respect for yourself to let that door slam in my face as pretty as I am. You want to be all up in my face, but you can't hold the door for me? Nah, I'm good. Assalamu alaikum. and I keep it pushing. I used to get upset and be like, oh, you didn't see me. Oh, he motherfucking saw me. He saw all of this, but he decided to be disrespectful because he disrespects himself. And that has absolutely nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. And so I continue through my day. I don't have to jump on social media and try to humiliate him in front of a bunch of people that don't know him. He know what he did. Now, let's get into what Proverbs 29 is telling us about. It says, if a ruler listens to lies, all his officials become wicked. We see this every day. We see how beautiful, beautiful sisters get opportunities to be on TV. And then little rumors start popping up with them on social media, and it ends up in a show. Now, all of a sudden, that beautiful sister is fighting with her words, and then it turns into physical altercations. Okay? As women, we are rulers. We are the measuring stick. We are the yardstick. We are the way a nation and society is measured. That is a ruler. Let's get off the surface level of these words. A ruler is a measuring tool. Me and my example is a measurement of what and who I come from. I represent an entire lineage. I represent an entire bloodline. I represent my tribe, and I represent them well. But I see beautiful sisters who get caught up in lies and gossip on social media, and they come off of their throne for likes. They come off their throne for entertainment. They become a court jester in their own kingdom. And where I'm seeing the people perish is that they don't have anybody in their corner holding up a mirror saying, girl, don't you know you got something to lose? I don't see that. So what we have done as the Master Moms Collective, we're showing you what it looks like when you have sisters and people in your life who will hold up a mirror and say, you're valuable. Your gift matters. You got better things to do than that, sis. Let's go do this. Let's go have some tea. Let's go meditate. Let's go visualize. Because a lot of the celebrities and money makers in our culture do not have people who have their best interests at heart in their court, in their circle. So you as a throne, as a platform, as a brand, see, all of these words are interchangeable. Brand, platform, influencer, you have power. And that power is now being manipulated by people who couldn't even put themselves in the room that you in, baby. Why is that? Why is that? Because the book says right here, if a ruler listens, if you just listen to a lie, all your officials become wicked. So people think you verified, make you official. What kind of official are you? The only people I see who are quote unquote walk around saying they're official, they turn out to be otherwise. I'm looking at the vision that I need to have. I'm looking at the type of sight in Proverbs 29 that I need to carry so that I can be have the discernment. People pray the discernment prayer, but they don't do the work of discernment. Greetings, sis. They don't do the work of discernment. And so the work of discernment is actually going in to be able to learn how to identify certain circumstances, situations, and character traits. Because what does the word also say? We war not with flesh. We're warring with principalities and powers in high places. Where is the high place? The high place is the mind. I'm not fighting with anyone. I'm not at war with anyone outside of myself. I'm working diligently at mastering this. Because once I can master this, then I can intentionally create what I want to see. Because I've taken the personal responsibility for what I think, for what I listen to, for what I consume, not only with my mouth, but consume with my ears, consume with my eyes, consume with my mind, consume with my stomach, my deep, deep desires, what I want. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. I've decided that I don't want no man if he not no Muslim man. I don't desire a man if he don't serve God. Period. You are disqualified from talking to me if you do not have your priority straight, and I'm not your priority. God should be your priority. And if God is not on your priority list, top 1 or 2, then baby, you got bigger fish to fry than want to be married. Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that a man makes a woman. And if I am to turn into you and you're not what I want to be, then I don't want to be with you. Respectfully, yet disrespectfully. Because somebody needs to tell you that where you're going, buddy, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And what I mean about sustainable is that there's no peace there. What did Future say? You want to cry in a phantom? Nigga, I'm not crying over you. That's where you got me fucked up at. So, again, Proverbs 29 is going to tell me what I should be looking for. If a wise person goes to court with a fool rages and scoffs, and there is no peace. I'm not about to marry no fool. This is what it's telling me. It's telling me right now, me as a wise person, if I go to court, meaning if I start dating, because that's what we do in Islam, we court. And if I go to court with a fool, look at what he gonna do. He gonna rage and scoff. There is no peace. There is no peace in that type of bond. If you are a woman of intelligence, if you are a man of intelligence, and somebody who is not of intelligence comes and is attracted to you, which they will be, because fools are attracted to light and they don't know that they're fools. It is not their fault. Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It is not their fault that they are fools. Okay? So we can't judge them and saying they're a bad person. No, they're just not the person for us. Because there is no peace among a fool. There is no peace. They have absolutely no awareness as to what they do. That's why Jesus said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They are oblivious. That's what makes them a fool. That's what makes them a fool. They don't understand what's going on. They're not all up. Their lights is not all on upstairs. And that's really a disability. And people think, oh, you're retarded because you're in a wheelchair. No, you're retarded, but it's not your fault that you are socially at a deficit because you're not aware, baby. You don't even know that you're handicapped spiritually. It's not just physically handicapped. And yes, I use the word retarded because we have to put it into a language that we understand. There are some people who are spiritually handicapped and they do not know that they need support. They don't know that they actually need to be in the front row of the first pew. They don't know. And they're running away from spiritual development because they don't want to admit that they need help. But it is not our job. It is not our job to tell them that they are foolish. It is not our job, because it says here, the fool rages and scoffs. There is no peace. In the Holy Quran, it says this: on their eyes is a covering. On their eyes is a covering. Lord. And so in their hearts is a disease. And a lot increases this disease. And so I've had to learn this by experience. And I just did not understand why I could not find a common ground with this particular individual. And it was because we did not have the one thing that is important and significant to make a person wise, and that is the acknowledgement of something bigger than ourselves. Finding common ground. So what makes a person wise? Knowledge of self. Knowing who you are. Why do you think Kyrie Irving got in so much trouble last year, 2023? He got in more trouble knowing who he was than making a foul or doing something in a basketball game. He's a basketball player. All of a sudden, he's a trending topic all around the world because he shared a movie from Hebrews to Negroes. When he found out who he was no longer a tool for them to use. He was no longer a fool. Now he's a wise black man with money. And when you have wisdom, you can grow your wealth. But what does it say? A fool and his money shall soon depart. Okay? But when you are wise and you know who you are and you know what you have the potential and capability of doing and can see yourself and have a vision of who you are and have a vision of where you should go and have a vision of not only the past, but the present and the future. Oh, baby. Now you're actually in manifestation mode. Manifestation is an energy. It's a frequency that you have from understanding, from knowledge, and applying that knowledge to the choices that you're making. You have one or two choices in every moment of the day. You're either going to be righteous or you're going to be other than yourself. Because the nature of the human being is a righteous person. Righteous means that you lean into submission to the will of God. And what is God's will? God's will is peace. What is peace? Peace is the result of choices that have led to the harmony of all involved. Okay? So that means that you will make choices that benefit not only you, but the collective of everybody. Sometimes that is a hard decision to make, but just ask a mama. Ask a mother. How do you make choices that benefit not yourself, but the collective? Ask her. How do you do it? Because of love. And what is God? Love. Out of his bounty, a mama will make it enough. What Smokey Mama say? He said, this ain't enough. She said, make it enough. And mamas make it enough. This is a ghetto Bible study, okay? So if you ain't never had to make something enough, you probably not a parent yet. If you have never had to stretch $1 out of 15 cents, honey, you may be that servant that was pampered from youth who will turn out to be insolent. If you ain't never had to go through that, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry, because we live in a day where the mama has to do everything. We have to make it happen, and then we have to get reimbursed on the back end. I'm so irritated. And I'm irritated because I needed to be. I needed to go through these situations and be basically treated like Job, everything but dad, called everything yet but a child of God, to tell y'all that it's possible to find love amongst a collective when there is scarcity, when there is poverty. You can figure it out. We have to every single day. Imagine having to make your own clothes. Imagine having to grow your own food. Imagine having to go and fetch the water. Imagine having to go to the outhouse. Imagine having to go and sleep at such and such house so your mama could go to work. Imagine being without your parents every holiday because you were raised by a single parent. Imagine having to go to a shelter. Imagine having to live in a hotel with your kids. Imagine having done that and then ask me, how do you find the ability to choose the best for the whole when you don't have no other choice? That's how you find it. And so one thing about God is that he will actually bring you into situations where you can learn how to understand somebody else's walk. So it says the righteous detest the dishonest, the wicked detest the upright. Yeah. Many seek an audience with a ruler, but it is from the Lord that one gets justice. You going through something right now, don't run to social media. I had a brother call me today and told me about a situation that happened because he is in communication with someone and got a bad response from them and what he was about to go do. And I said, no, brother, you need to go pray over that. Because our God is so big that we can pray over a situation. I can pray over a situation and someone do me wrong. I don't have to run to nobody but God. I will run and tell my Lord on you. Do you understand me? Talking about snitches get stitches. Yeah, if you tell the police. But I told God, he gonna deal with it. I don't have to lift their finger. I don't have to fight nobody. I don't have to take my crown off for none of y'all. I don't. Actually, he likes it when I have my crown on and I come to him and I pray and I smell good and I look good and I'm clean. He handles it. I've seen it in real time. And every time someone has hurt me, he has always positioned me to see his chastisement, just so that I know I best not be someone who does that to somebody else. Not for my enjoyment. No, just so I know what he's working with, so I can see his power. The worst thing in life for me would not be death. No, it's not. The worst thing for me in life would be to see my Lord disappointed in me. That's what I fear. So I will discipline my children and they will give me peace and they will bring me the delights that I desire, because first I got the discipline. People ask me all the time, and this is what I'm going to end this part of our live with. People ask me all the time, what guided you to Islam if nobody in your family is Muslim? I say my son. They're like, your son? How old is he? 5. My son is 5 years old. I said, so yeah, I'm about 5 years in the knowledge. I'm about 5 years old. I'm as old as my son. People like, please tell me that story. Y'all, my son led me to Islam. I was so afraid when I brought that little boy home from the hospital. I did not know how to raise a black man. So I went looking for information. I went looking for how to raise a black man. And it's such a walk that our black men have in this life that nobody else has. And I knew that I could not teach him how to be a black man. And so when I finally found How to Give Birth to a God by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on YouTube, it's a 4-part series. And I was like, oh my God, I did all this. Oh my God. And so I played the minister every day for Mason so he could hear what a strong black man sounded like. And it was a video that said, if I took all of y'all titles right now, half of y'all would walk out of this room. And he said, I don't give a damn, because I will get somebody in here to help me make God's word bond. And I'll never forget that I showed up to the mosque. And when I showed up to the mosque, I told the sisters, I don't have any money, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have time and I can help the young sisters here learn how to use computers. I'm certified. Sister Victoria, mosque number 15, I never forget. She said, you need to get in class. You need to figure out what it takes to be a Muslim first. Do y'all know I've been in the class for 5 years because I realized that in order to teach my son discipline, I couldn't teach him something that I didn't have. I had to be disciplined in order to teach him discipline because our children will do what they see, not what we teach them. Vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So if you're a parent, especially a mama, and you're out here doing anything and everything, and you have no purpose, you have no discipline, you have no structure, you have no plan, you have no schedule for not only you, but you don't have no schedule for your kids. You don't have no purpose for your kids. You have no vision for your kid. You have no proper structure for your child. Guess what? Your children will not give you peace. They will not give you what you delight, and they will be your disgrace. Cause and effect. And so the vision that Proverbs 29 gives us is the opportunity to make a choice and to see who we're going to choose to be and how we're going to choose to do it and how we can see if we're actually doing it. It gives us a way to see how people will respond based on our choices. So this is a very thorough and elegant and sweet, short way of how we can measure ourselves and also how we can measure and discern the situations, environments, and people that we're around so that we can ensure that we're getting the most out of our experience here on earth. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a very short time, and we don't know how long we have. So reading Proverbs 29 in its fullness will actually give us the proper vision that we need so that we can thrive. Okay? And so he who keepeth the law, he is happy. And so that being said, I just want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to go into chapter 29, and now I'm going to open it up for the Moms Collective to discuss.
You said a whole lot of stuff. You said a whole lot. And my mind is just like, I heard so much. The first thing, let me move this out of the way. The first thing that popped in my head was crabs in a bucket. Y'all know what the crabs in the bucket effect is. Somebody's trying to get out, you got people pulling you down. Trying to get out, somebody pulling you back down. That's all I saw. When everything that you said, I just saw this. Because the information that you just gave us is only going to go to a select amount of people. Everybody else heard it, but they don't quite understand what you said because it's still like, okay, I hear her, but it's not applying to them right now. But those that it applies to, and those who it applies to, people are going to start yanking at them.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, you coming in here to speak the spirit to me, because when the spirit starts speaking, people will sneeze twice.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that because it makes me say Alhamdulillah. Like it makes me say it. So Ashe, give thanks for being my vessel yet again, Mason Isa. I'm just talking about
That's that inspiration right there.
There that go. There that go.
That's that inspiration.
All right. I hear you. I see you, Lord. I see you working on live now. See, if y'all don't see God on this live, y'all ain't got no vision. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Somebody got to tell you that you really need to work on that.
The spiritually handicapped
Yeah, wherever two or more are gathered,
Yeah.
surely I am among you. And if you ain't seen God, then baby, we should collectively, when we close out in prayer tonight, I'm gonna have you all on my mind, because that is the biggest thing that I want to really like hone in on, the spiritually disabled. And I used to be one of those people. I park in the handicap spot on purpose. And people say, what's wrong with you? I say, I'm mentally handicapped.
Mom,
Just because you can't see my disability doesn't mean I don't have one.
I see like.
Gotta make her a laminate
Oh, it's right there.
so you can put it on your
The engine number is one.
rearview mirror.
I should make my own little category, little sticker. You know?
Yeah.
The number is like that.
Yep. Look, and my son just pointed out an angel number, chapter 11, verse 11. Believers comforted. Okay, let's read. All right, let's do it, Mason. And we certainly gave the book to Moses, but differences arose therein. Had not a word gone forth from thy Lord, the matter would have been decided between them. And they are surely in a disquieting doubt about it, and thy Lord will surely pay back to all their deeds in full. He indeed is aware of what they do. Ashe. That's what I'm talking about, baby Kate. See, this little boy right here, I'm telling y'all, like, he'll just bring a tear to my eye.
Here's the reason.
I tell you,
That's
this
the
boy
reason.
led me to Islam. I
That's
mean,
the reason why you going so hard.
this right here. That right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, I love him.
You love me?
Amazing.
Yes, I love you.
Mom?
Yes. I love them. I really do. I love these sisters right here. If y'all don't have any sisters, then I'm going to pray for you as well, because sisterhood gives me the strength to manifest. I couldn't do this without my sisters. I couldn't.
Yeah. This is one of our ideas, one of our visions.
Yep.
Just
Since our last live, so many changes happened to me. A lot of the stories and revelations that came when I read Proverbs 29 came out of this week, these 7 days since we did our first live, and we put our intentions out there in the atmosphere. And we have.
What is it?
What are you supposed to say? Yes.
What is this?
It's gum.
Gum?
Oh, you can read. You better read. You better be reading, boy. Anyway, I went through a lot of changes, and I'm a stick beside my man. You know, I'm gonna stick beside God in a way that I see where He is leading us. And when I read Proverbs 29 today, and it came to us today. Yes, sir.
What is that?
Water. And it said, you know what? The vision is this. This is the vision. The entire chapter is the vision that we have to be able to see and make our choices throughout the day based on that. And so, use your words.
It's the eye cutting for me. The way you just cut your eyes at him.
Use your words. Yeah, you can.
She looked at him like,
Use them. Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I can have.
You better ask properly. Huh?
I can have food.
Anyway,
and I'm not gonna eat it.
Absolutely not. Mommy's on live. Okay. So what we learned in this chapter today was that this was the vision that we needed to help everybody to really digest. Because how you do what you do is how you do what you do. I have gifts that no one else has, and you all have gifts that we don't have. But that doesn't mean that we're making different choices throughout the day. We're all choosing to either use our gifts for good or use our gifts for bad. I know women who have been dancers in a strip club and put themselves through school, taking care of their children. They have 10 kids. 10 kids. And now they are actually helping and they're contributing members in society, also in the Nation of Islam. And we don't share sister stories because if someone decides to change her life, what she used to do or what she does doesn't define her. Vice versa, I know brothers in the Nation of Islam who have done 20, 30 years in prison. And now they can go out and help the community and teach people about God and raise money and do things that I've never seen somebody with an MBA do. When it comes down to impact, it didn't define them. So your gift is what defines you. And how you use that gift is going to show us the type of vision that you have. So we're calling you out. We're calling you out of emotional isolation. We're calling you out of spiritual isolation. We're calling you out of your emotional and mental isolation. You don't have to do this by yourself. You can come and join the Master Moms Collective and you can be a part of what we are doing here for each other. You can be a part of our collective and start to make room in your life for not only help, but also to be a helper. You can make room in your life for conversations that need to be had in a safe space. You can make room for enjoying your spiritual walk. People think your healing journey is easy. Baby, it's the hardest work you're going to ever do in your life is healing.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't do it by yourself. You don't have to do it by yourself. And we, as the Master Moms Collective, each of us hurts every single day. We don't look like what we've been through. Let me wait till Gabby gets back. I'll bring her back on. But when you see her face, she don't look like what she been through. Sister Damari don't look like what she been through. I don't look like what I've been through. Why? Because we have each other and we remind each other. Because one day I won't be hurting as bad and I can uplift my sister, and one day she won't be hurting as bad and she can uplift me. But it's not until we come out of that isolation and tell people what's going on with us that we open up to be poured into. So hence why we had to talk to y'all about vision today, because we are doing these sessions not for y'all. We doing this for ourselves. This is how we're pouring into us. So Damari and Gabby, we each do not look like what we've been through, but we also hold room for our sisters to pour into us. And guess what we do? We take action on it.
Absolutely. I feel like I do look like it though, because of this bump on my forehead.
Girl, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
But yeah, we've been through a lot. And what's so good about what we've been through is our stories. Our stories are so different.
Yeah.
But the way we ended up and then like how we found each other were the same because of one small change we had to make for ourselves. So you don't have to have a lot in common with somebody to create a really good and solid relationship with them. You can have one small thing that'll happen to you, and it's like, boom, I know so much about you. You know, that's what happened. And I appreciate that.
Y'all, the only reason I can run my mouth like this is because I've been through it. And I've been through it in a way where I told the energy that pushes down on us, I said, I'm gonna enjoy it. Throw whatever you got at me, I'm gonna enjoy it. Because that's the one thing you don't want me to do. You don't want me to enjoy my time on earth. But baby, the world can be sitting on top of me. And I'm gonna enjoy it because I get to experience it. And that's enough for me. I don't want nothing else other than to be here.
It's a luxury.
I just want to be here.
Yeah.
I know so many people that didn't wake up. I was telling my niece and my son that 2 days ago. My friends started getting murdered in high school. People, I thought I had a chance to date this guy in high school. He had a crush on me so bad my freshman year. And then right when I wanted to actually maybe see him, his best friend murdered him in a car. Best friend murdered him.
Best friend?
Best friend murdered him, sitting in jail right now. It was an accident. Dang. Gun went off. Yeah. And then at Tuskegee, we lose a classmate every year.
Yeah.
BJ.
Smile for BJ.
Smile for BJ.
Smile for BJ.
Smile for BJ. Our bro got killed at a block party.
And I had a conversation with him that very day. Right on the yard. I told him I saw him sitting on the yard and I was like, BJ, go to class. On my way to class. He's like, man, I ain't going to class right now. I'm sitting on the yard. I'm embracing the yard. I love the yard. Sitting there. And I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. And he was asking me about the party, the black party. And I was like, yeah, I guess we'll go. I really don't want to go. But I didn't end up going because I lived down the street from that party. And right when we were about to walk out the house, we heard the gunshots. So we walked right back in the house. It's crazy how fast you can see somebody 1 minute and the next minute they're gone. You gotta appreciate the people around you. You gotta stop playing. People have to stop playing. Because you just never know. That person that you talked to on the phone today, be thankful that they are in your life. Pray for your friends. Please pray for your friends and keep them in high spirits because you don't know what's attacking them. You really don't. To where you might not have them tomorrow.
Yeah. So encourage each other. Encourage each other and talk, share. If you're thinking about hurting yourself, reach out. If you don't have anybody to talk to and reach out to us. Sister Gabrielle, she actually does suicide intervention. And that's a service that she does out of the kindness of her heart. And I just want to make that known on the call tonight. Now that that's come up, a lot of us are dealing with loss. A lot of us are dealing with things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Absolutely. I've stayed up like when I say I will talk to you, I have stayed up until 4 a.m. talking to people. Like, all right, from like 9, 10 o'clock that night for hours.
Yeah.
You're not playing over here.
Yeah.
You have a purpose. You have a purpose. If you're here, you have a purpose. You're here for a reason. Don't take yourself away if you know. Even if you don't know, let somebody else remind you, please.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just don't know what you could do. Every time I think of that, I think of the memes that they have on the internet, like of the two guys when they're mining through the dirt, and there's one that's so far away from the prize, and there's one that gets so close to the prize, and he's got like that much left to dig, and he walks away, and he's like, "I give up," and you were right there, but the guy at the top, he's gonna keep going. You got to keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. So, what I got from that was challenge your fear. And everything doesn't have to be perfect. If you've been wanting to start a podcast, if even just you starting a podcast is your therapy, you don't have to have 1 million followers to start talking and telling your story.
Yeah.
We do this for us. We don't do this for a major audience. Y'all see those sponsors at the bottom? That's us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't wait. I'm not waiting for nobody to give me no green light. I'm not waiting
Yeah.
for nobody to give me no permission.
Yep.
No. Who do I look like? Waiting for me to get a green light from somebody who not me. No, absolutely not. I've been through enough in life to know that I'm supposed to still be here.
Mm-hmm.
I had an intake conversation where I had to revisit and tell somebody when I felt suicidal as a child. And she said, "Well, were there any attempts?" And I had to say, with anxiety, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I failed. Thank God.
Yeah.
Our failures are blessings. Enjoy it. Enjoy the failure. That was your protection, baby. Somebody bigger loves you. And I just can't stand by and receive his love and not show him love back. This is what this is about.
Yeah.
This is my thank you. And I can't thank him enough for making me fail. He could have helped me be successful.
Yeah.
So ungrateful.
And you wouldn't be here right now doing this.
That's what you want, and I wanted it so bad. I used to wish that I was a butterfly. I used to wish I was a leaf on a tree. I used to wish I was like, what doesn't feel pain in this world?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be
Oh, I go to the bathroom so many times.
good. That's awesome. And I used to wish that so many times. But if I would have been successful in that, my baby wouldn't be here.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me?
You see what I'm saying? It's a whole prayer talking back to me right now. Y'all don't even understand.
So funny. So funny.
My
Me?
little prayer couldn't even be saying me
I'm telling you.
if I was successful at that.
My little prayer turned 8 this weekend. I didn't even think I was going to have kids.
Her prayer didn't turn 8 years old, y'all. Let's clap it up.
Oh,
I don't know how I feel about him being 8, though.
We're going to celebrate how old our prayers are and how they have taken
Mom,
just a life of their own. Yes, Mason.
Mom.
whoa!
Yes, I've got a 5-year-old prayer.
Okay.
I'm gonna just let y'all know that I have failed forward with this prayer, and I'm so grateful for every failure.
So funny, Mason.
Because y'all, it has led me to this point. And if y'all don't understand what's happening on this show, y'all ain't gonna never understand it. But I see it. I see that this is a powerful connection of women. And there's a reason why they didn't want us to connect as women.
Yeah.
We don't need nobody when we got each other.
Yeah.
We don't need anybody when we have each other. So this is the importance of women connecting and women making the point to communicate with one another.
I absolutely agree.
Y'all, we've been on the phone for 2.5 hours.
I see. It don't even seem like it, though, because this is normal.
Yeah. Yep. It definitely is.
I just love when we spitting facts, though, giving out information. allowing people to feel at ease, knowing and giving that it's an open dialogue, being comfortable. I need some more tea.
I'm done with my bottle. Almost shoot.
Look, y'all see what? Wait, can y'all see that? What it says?
It's too bright.
It says grace and hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave me that mug, and I didn't even know they liked me.
All right, y'all. Let's do our closing prayer so we can let everybody go and digest this wonderful talk tonight.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Am I going to do the honors?
Of course.
Okay. All right, y'all. I used to be so nervous praying in public, and I'm so grateful.
You're not now.
As we came in, we're just going to ask your permission to pray for y'all, pray over y'all, so that we can come and go in the same manner. And really pray for everyone who has a heavy heart, whatever it is that you have on your mind right now, bring it to the front of your mind. And we're just going to ask that we have the ability to release, to be able to find the answer to our biggest problems right now in this moment. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Master of the day of judgment in which we now live, thee do we serve and thee do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned into this live stream. And I also want to say thank you to my sisters, Damari and my sister, Gabrielle, for sharing their time and energy and gifts with us. And if you have any questions about this live, please leave it in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your business and what you do. And if you're interested in joining the Mastermind Collective, you can search us on Facebook. And I am reachable on Instagram. There's my Instagram masterpiece. Okay. And so if y'all have any closing words, go ahead and share with the people.
Pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to who you bring in your life and how you bring them in. Don't be that vulnerable. Be aware of what you're doing so you can be at peace and you can be okay. Because the more you seek, the more you're attacked. So you have to learn how to discern properly. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind open. Don't allow these people to come slide under you. Stay on top. Yeah. You're muted, Damari.
Oh. You hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was saying, don't be afraid to ask for help. Touching back on what you were saying about cognitive behaviors and, unlearning things and then relearning, just that right there, the fear of asking for help, that could be something that's been passed down, something that was, embedded in us from, childhood, where we might have been told, oh, don't ask for nothing because that's begging, or you don't beg, you don't ask them that because of, whoever we might have been with, our family or whatever, may get embarrassed because you asked for help. But that's something that a lot of us, especially adults, we got to work on too, asking for help. To tell us that in the Bible.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes, ladies, I give thanks and praise for the healing that is coming through this live stream, through the Master Mom Collective. And we appreciate everybody's gift being shared tonight and also sharing Proverbs 29 1 through 27. And hopefully, we'll see you all back here next Monday starting 9 p.m. Eastern. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube as well as Instagram. So be sure to catch the replay shortly after this live and share this with someone who may be in need of this type of dialogue and conversation. Don't be afraid to get started. So we're here and we all have our perspective pages, but we can all be reached in the Master Moms Collective on Facebook. Also, go to www.bebrandedmedia.com if you'd like to book a consultation. We definitely have a lot more in store for next week. So if there's anything that you want us to touch on next week, please send us a message. Until then, peace.